Have you ever asked questions like, why do the rich get richer, and the poor get poorer? Why do the educated middle class have a successful career, yet struggle with their financial commitments? How can someone have billions in their bank account, but others struggle with living paycheck to paycheck? Let's try to answer those questions and bring you one step closer to gaining financial independence. This story is about Robert Kiyosaki, called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Poor Dad was Kiyosaki's biological father, a man who was highly intelligent and very well educated. Poor Dad believed in studying hard and getting good grades, then finding a well-paying job. Yet, despite these seemingly positive attributes, Poor Dad didn't do well financially. Rich Dad was the father of Kiyosaki's best friend. He had a similar work ethic to Kiyosaki's real dad, but with a twist. Rich Dad believed in financial education, learning how money works, and understanding how to make money work for you. Although he was an 8th grade dropout, Rich Dad eventually became a millionaire by putting the power of money to work for him. The central message conveyed by Kiyosaki is that you don't need to earn a high income to be rich. You may wonder how? Let's find out 3 main ideas to succeed. Firstly, get out of the rat race. There are 2 emotions that keep people in rat race: fear and greed. That's why we still stick to the outdated mantra: go to school, go to college, get a job, play it safe. When in reality, no job is safe anymore. It's fear that keeps most people working at a job: the fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. Most people become a slave to money. But when your greed takes over, you might then spend the extra money on an improved lifestyle. You might buy new branded clothes, new things you don't need, fancy new car, and the payments eat up the money. The more you have, the more you want. When you earn more, you find new ways to spend it. When you find yourself constantly striving for more money, but never truly finding satisfaction, you are in the rat race. Just like others, you are trapped in a cycle of earning, spending, and fearing the loss of what you have. But time flies faster than we would like. As Rich Dad says, the poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. The key to breaking out of the rat race is to educate yourself financially and learn how to make your money work for you, instead of you constantly working for it. This is crucial in taking control of your financial future and achieving true wealth and financial freedom. Since we receive no financial education in school or college, sadly, this is entirely up to you. Let's move forward to next tip. Learn financial literacy. We need to learn financial literacy, because it's not about how much money you make, but about how much money you keep. If we look at the income statement, then it's pretty straightforward. Income is what we get as salary when doing our jobs, but expenses are where we are spending our money, like bills, groceries, etc. When it comes to balance sheet, then it is important to understand the difference between an asset and a liability. The key characteristic of assets is that they put money in your pocket by generating income. Examples of assets include real estate that you rent out, stocks, bonds, savings accounts, business equity, and anything that generates money and increases in value over time. A liability, on the other hand, is something that takes money out of a pocket, such as a car loan, credit card debt, or a house with a mortgage. These liabilities require regular payments, and they can limit a person's cash flow. Here is how poor people mostly live: they usually don't have assets or liabilities and often live from paycheck to paycheck. Middle class generates liabilities and often leaves the assets column empty. Monthly expenses are so high that even thinking of not having a job creates panic. But rich people have generated an assets column so much that they don't even need a regular job for living. It doesn't mean that they don't work, they do, but constantly growing assets. This explains why the rich get richer, but the poor even poorer. Building assets and minimizing liabilities is the key to achieving financial freedom and building wealth. Let's move to the last chapter. Tips and tricks. First, the most important thing is that you start today. You are your own biggest asset, so the first thing you should put some money into is yourself. Today is the youngest you'll ever be, so take a close look at what you can and can't afford. Secondly, don't start big. Just set aside a small amount and invest it in any assets. Treat the money as if it's gone forever and you'll worry less about losing it. Thirdly, work to learn, not to earn. In the long run, education is more valuable than money. Search jobs and opportunities that will teach you skills, rather than just settle for a job that pays well but doesn't offer any opportunities for growth or development. Fourth, there's no rush. Just stay at your full-time job and mind your own business. In this case, your job is what pays the bills until you'll find your way which makes you wealthy. Think about potential assets that could generate passive income. Maybe build your business on the side and use it to invest in assets until your assets eventually become the main source of your income. And lastly, keep in mind that there is no magic answer to what you should or shouldn't do. We all are different and each can have a different path to go. What fits for others might not fit for you, so keep learning, keep trying, and you will achieve your goals. This was a brief summary inspired by Robert Kiyosaki's book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like, subscribe and hit this notification bell.